Welcome to Marketing Without the Marketing. I'm your host, Michael Bosey. Happy you're with me here today, and we're talking about starting a business. Just began this new series in the last episode, and the whole idea here is just to give you my experience with starting my own business if you're just getting started or you're thinking about getting started. There's so much to learn, so many hazards along the way, and it really helps to have a map, right? To learn firsthand from those who have been there before you. And look, that's how I learned when I was first starting out, and I want to pay it forward for you. Now, I have a video version of this episode for free as a part of an online course that I've built called How to Start a Business, a Case Example. And you can find that at my website, controlmousemedia.com/courses. But I also left a direct link in the show notes so that you don't have to go to the splash page. And this course also has accompanying worksheets and templates and checklists and other things that I use in running my own business, a bunch of tools you need to get your content strategy cranking. All right, but let's get right to it. Let me take you all the way back to day one of when I started my business and talk about the very first things that you need to focus on, or at least the things that I thought I needed to focus on. Your business is unique. It's not going to run the same way as mine does, but hopefully you can learn from my experience, adjust it if you need it, take the things that work, ditch the things that don't. You get the idea. But, you do want to focus on the most important activities up front. And as I mentioned in the last episode, often we intend to put marketing on the back burner. And to me, what I say is move that up as early as you can in the process. And to me, that's all about your content strategy and building a set of content that not only gets you started on the right foot, but gets you actually working towards something rather than just quote unquote marketing activities. I feel that this is really important, makes you more efficient from the outset and gets you started the right way. So, all right, so let's jump right in. I want to take you back in time to the very first day of my business. Here we go. All right, day one of your new business. It's both exhilarating and it's terrifying. Now, if you've been there before, you certainly understand what I'm talking about. But if this is new to you, then I'm glad that you're here, because what I hope to do in this segment is just to give you my experience to show you what it's like to start your own business. When I started my business, day one, I remember it vividly. It was January 1st, 2014. I sat down at my desk and I thought, how am I going to get someone to pay me? Right? It's terrifying. I was starting from a standing start, no network, all in, feet first, and it's absolutely terrifying. So here's what I did. I leaned into the thing that I knew the best, the thing that I felt was my strength, which was writing. And I thought, okay, any business owner is going to need content, whether it's a website or your blog or videos or something that explains what you do or what you intend to do if you're brand new at it. So for me, yes, set up a website and then started blogging. Now keep in mind, when you do this, you want to go into this with a plan. You don't want to just start blogging for blogging's sake, right? You want to build a set of content that you're actually going to use as a business asset. Now let me explain what I mean by that. Because look, when you start off with a blog or your website, no one's incentivized to go to your blog, right? No one's incentivized to read the posts that you write. No one's incentivized to come to your website. And sure, you can try advertising or social or whatever, but for the most part, the starting posture for anyone is who cares, right? So you want to answer that if you can. And here's how you do that. Start with a plan. And what I always recommend to clients of mine who are doing this is start off with what are the 5 or 6 most common customer questions, or if you're brand new at this, maybe it's things that you think that you need to answer in advance about your business. Start there, take each piece and just create a blog post, a page, something that is going to really narrow down on that particular topic and answer that question in a very clear and distinct way. And now think about this. Even if you put it out there and no one shows up when you first publish it, you don't care, right? Because right now, anytime that question comes up in the future, you now have your best articulation of the answer to a common customer question right there on your site, accessible via one click permanently. That's what I mean by a business asset. So you want to go in with a plan. All right, now here's the other great thing about a blog, is that if you treat it in the way that I teach my clients to do this, it's a bi-directional conversation. It's a way for you to interact with your audience live in real time, right? And you do this with the intent to connect, with the intent to provide value to them. But guess what? They'll respond to you as well. So they'll tell you, hey, I disagree with that, or hey, did you think of it this way? Or, you'll just notice by the data. What were the posts that hit? What were the posts that didn't? You're going to learn a lot about your audience in a way that it's really hard to find out in other means. This is a great way to learn about your audience. And look, if you're getting into business, you understand your audience, you've done the research, you've talked to people, you've done the interviews, you've figured out what it is that you will do to serve people, right? But you always want to be testing those assumptions, and this is a great way to do this live in real time, and will give you an advantage over those businesses who are not doing this. It's all about connecting with your customers and potential customers. Now for me, I went in with a very clear audience because it was the audience I had served for 17 years in the publishing industry, and that was nonfiction authors. And I saw a need out there. The need was, look, an author could do everything right. His or her editor could do everything right. Marketing, sales, the publisher could do everything right and still fail. And I thought in today's world, where you can reach an audience directly, I thought I could help with that. That's why I started my own business. I've stayed true to that, even though I've learned a lot along the way about how to do that. And these are the things that you want to be thinking about in day one of your business. Well, there it is, taking you back to day one of my business. Those first few weeks, those first few months, super challenging. But look, we all got to go through it, right? If we're going to start a business, that period is very difficult, but you got to go through it. And I would love to hear from you. Did you experience something similar, or different challenges, or different activities you focused on? I'd love to hear from you. So just leave a comment in the show notes, or hit me up on Twitter at mbozzi. That's MBOEZI. Would love to hear from you. So, all right. As I mentioned up front, the series was based on a set of video lessons that I recorded to give you one case example of how to build your business. This is not by any means meant to be the answer. It's just my experience, but I hope that it will help you. And I do have the video lessons in the form of an online course, which you can find at controlmousemedia.com/courses. But I also left a direct link in the show notes so that you can get right to this course. And I'm always developing a lot more in the way of online courses, sharing my strategies and tactics. So subscribe if you want me to let you know when the next ones are ready. All right, as always, I thank you for listening, giving me your attention. I hope that you get something out of these, and we'll see you on the next episode.